in high definition. This is KCAL 9 News at 9.
Republican candidate for governor Meg Whitman is in Beverly Hills tonight raising more money for a campaign war chest.
She's put tens of millions of her own money into her bid, and now she's asking others to help out and getting some big-name Republican support.
KCAL 9 political reporter Dave Bryan is live in Beverly Hills with more on Whitman's fundraiser. Dave?
Well, Rick, Meg Whitman put...
I now crown thee Queen Meg of California.
The night started early when the State Nurses Association turned California into a mock monarchy and crowned Meg Whitman's stand-in Queen of the state during a protest demonstration outside the real Meg Whitman's campaign fundraiser.
We can't afford democracy, so why not try a monarchy?
Meg Whitman. At her $1,000 a plate fundraiser, Meg Whitman delivered excerpts from her standard stump speech, arguing that spending cuts, not tax increases, will lead California out of the recession and budget crisis.
We actually don't have a revenue problem in California. We have a spending problem of epic proportions. And we can, thank you. And we can I think we can make California government far more efficient and effective and make our state stronger, not weaker.
Whitman pledged to bring pro-business leadership to a state she charges that has the worst business climate in the country.
Financially, there is no way out of this unless we get Californians back to work. I want to do that through decreasing taxes. I want to do that by streamlining regulation, and I want to stand up and compete for jobs.
The next president of the United States, Mitt Romney.
At the fundraiser, the Whitman campaign rolled out one of her high-profile national Republican supporters, 2008 presidential candidate Mitt Romney, who's one of the early 2012 GOP frontrunners.
I'm convinced that California is going to do the right thing and elect Meg Whitman as the next governor.
Romney told the crowd Whitman's policies will reinvigorate California by unleashing the entrepreneurial spirit.
She knows if you borrow too much and you weigh people down with debt, they won't be able to create and innovate. All of these elements that you see across our country right now are stifling what is so essential to the American economy.
Back outside with the protesting nurses, their horse-drawn carriage was turned away from the hotel driveway by Beverly Hills police.
I can respect nurses, okay? But it's not about that right now. It's about being on private property.
My decrees are health care for the rich, education for the few, and prisons for all.
The nurses retreated, saying they had made their point about the real Meg Whitman.
Queen Meg, Queen of California. You know, who needs a democracy when you can buy your way into the office of the governorship?
This is CBS 5 Early Edition.
A call for the Queen is in what you'd normally expect at a political fundraiser.
I am Queen Meg Whitman.
Republican Meg Whitman held a fundraiser last night to help finance her run for governor. John McCain, Mitt Romney, and Jeb Bush attended. People paid up to $29,000 a plate. So far, Whitman has pumped an estimated $59 million from her own bank account into her campaign. But the crowds who gathered outside had mixed reactions. Some said the billionaire businesswoman is out of touch.
Give me the keys to Sacramento Palace, darling. I know you have them, and let's just bypass the election in November and have a monarchy.
We want to make the public aware of what the real Meg Whitman agenda is.
I think what Meg really has going for her, you know, she's a really pro-jobs kind of governor.
Whitman faces another Silicon Valley multimillionaire, State Insurance Commissioner Steve Poizner, in the June 8th Republican primary.
Complete Bay Area news coverage starts right now. This is the 10 o'clock news on KTVU Channel 2.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Frank Somerville.
And I'm Julie Hayner. Heavy hitters from the GOP are in the Bay Area tonight attending a big money political fundraiser. The event benefits Meg Whitman, the Republican candidate for governor, who's running her first political campaign after running a hugely successful business at eBay. KTVU's Jana Katsuyama is live now in Redwood City with the story. Jana.
Well, Julie, there certainly was a little drama with the dinner here at Meg Whitman's fundraiser tonight. The drama came when protesters showed up in blonde wigs. The dinner had Meg Whitman taking the stage with 4 political stars. The evening opened with a procession of powerhouse GOP leaders who brought their political heft to Silicon Valley to weigh in behind Meg Whitman. Some 500 people paid a minimum of $1,000 to wine and dine with Whitman and guest speakers Governor Mitt Romney, former Secretary of State George Shultz, Senator John McCain, and former Florida Governor Jeb Bush.
We have got to put Californians back to work, and we will do that by streamlining regulation, by cutting taxes, and by standing up to compete for our jobs in this state.
This is a person who will set an example here in California.
But earlier, nearly 100 protesters in blonde wigs showed up outside the VIP cocktail lounge, accusing the billionaire and former eBay CEO of being out of touch with ordinary people's concerns.
My name is Queen Meg Whitman.
The protest continued outside the Sofitel Hotel with an airplane banner and members of the California Nurses Association waving signs along the entrance.
We want to let Meg Whitman know that California is not for sale. It doesn't matter if she spends $150 million for her campaign, but the platform that she's running on is not good for the working people.
Among Whitman's supporters tonight were Silicon Valley CEOs such as John Chambers of Cisco.
Running a major corporation is very hard. And granted, there are differences between being a governor and running a corporation, but I think she comes with a very strong background. I think she'll do a great job.
A half dozen students supporting Whitman also stood outside across the street.
I'm concerned about our education system right now, and I really like her education plan, and I think she'll do a lot for the economy.
Whitman has been criticized for limiting media access to staged rallies and dinners, but she faced the cameras after the dinner talking about jobs and immigration.
Really holding those employers' feet to the fire if they continue to hire undocumented workers. And then I want to eliminate sanctuary cities, San Francisco being case in point just north of here.
Tonight's event was one of 5 fundraisers across the state for Whitman this week, netting several $1 million. As for why a billionaire is holding fundraisers, well, Whitman said tonight that it's important, she feels, to show that she can pull in that cash, and also it gives people a chance to show their support for her cause. Reporting live in Redwood City, Jana Katsuyama, KTVU, Channel 2 News.